You're only as good as your last race. You have to stay consistent with your wins.
We really have something here, and very quickly.
This truck's badass.
We want to make the best shock, and we don't really care what it costs to make. We are going to have the best product out there.
They're just taking it so seriously. They want to win, and they don't want anything else. They're giving me this world-class truck that's perfectly tuned. The suspension's perfect, the brake's perfect, everything's perfect.
Winning the Mint 400's a big thing. It's the roughest course.
We're feeling good as a team. It's the fastest it's been.
I like to sneak in there and get the race win.
I want to be up against the best products.
I have perfect traction. They gave me some badass steering. Not a lot of people are beating us.
What we're engineering is running at the very front pace of desert racing motorsports.
So we're out here at Barstow today doing our final shakedown on the truck. We spent quite a bit of time between Mint and now getting the truck ready for the 300. Completely redesigned the steering system, done some more upgrades on the brakes. We're trying some new stuff on that. And we're out here really to test gear ratio and do a final shakedown so we can be as best prepared as possible for the upcoming race. You know, with only a 3-point lead, there's a lot on the line.
That lead could dwindle away very quickly. So that's why we're out here on the first day of pre-running. I need to make sure I know every rock, every turn, every blind rise. That way we don't make a stupid mistake and cost us the championship. We brought the pre-runner. We're gonna put the miles in to make sure that me and Sean in the cab do our job correctly for these guys.
With the new Camburg KINETIK Series race shocks, you know, we want to design this new shock absorber that revolutionizes shocks, right? And so we prototyped out these shocks. We had them on the truck for one test session prior to the California 300. And it's cool to hear Jason and Kyle talking and just that excited about the shocks and how much smoother they are, but with really good bottom out control.
So far, with what we're doing on these shocks, we've been able to make gains in every aspect without sacrificing anything yet. I mean, ride quality's gone up exponentially, G-outs, low speed control. The overall damping on the truck is just significantly better and more controllable than where we were before. And we still have a ways to go. Every gain we make, we find more where we can improve.
Well, I do enjoy the consistency with the prep and the R&D and just the effort coming from Team MagnaFlow. They're really into it. The attention to detail is fantastic. And it just makes me feel so much more confident going into each race. I know that I can push the truck as hard as I want to win, and I have the best equipment to do that. I like that we're getting wins and we're getting to prove their parts. We're getting to prove me and Sean's ability in the cab, and it's all coming together because of the effort that they're putting in has been wonderful.
We get the question a lot of like, why brakes? I think people expect us to make shocks, but the reason why we did brakes is because there really isn't the greatest alternative out there. We want to make made in America, an American company. We want to make true off-road brakes. So we want to go and step up what's out there, and we want to win races, and we want to build the best products. And so why we're doing it is because we just want to make the best products for off-road and trucks. That's it.
I have enjoyed the development of the brakes and the shocks. They went back to the drawing board, which was great that we have that ability to go back to the drawing board, redid some pistons or something, more pressure, different master cylinders, different compound, and then all of a sudden it just worked. And now when I need brakes, I have brakes right now, cold. I have the best braking package I've ever had right now. And then on the shocks, after many revisions, testing sessions, it's working really, really good right now. And I'm happy with it in the cab. And you watch videos from the outside and it looks really, really planted and level. I think they're onto something there.
The most exciting part about our business is the development and coming up with the ideas. There's so much here in the truck to develop. It's fulfilling for me to continue to put your mind to work. You know, like you find problems and you just want to solve these issues. And then to create a solution to a problem and make improvements in the car to get faster and better, it's a real driving force for me to develop and create whatever it is automotive related in the off-road space. It's just a real rush for me.
I think what's really cool is that from the outset, Camburg has been designing and testing products within racing and then bringing them to market. They've taken a lot of risk and they've come out on top. And that just shows you the confidence they have in their knowledge from engineering race products.
I mean, when you're testing during a race, you're at the absolute extreme. You know, we do spend some time doing functions tests when we can, before an event, and we'll make some adjustments and whatnot, but you're never seeing the temperatures, you're never running the pace that you are when you're against the other competitors. It's a whole different mindset for the driver.
There's a big difference between testing and racing. You know, you go out to the Springs with Wayne and you do 50 miles and it's just not like a race. You know, you get too comfortable out there and it never gets fully hot. You do a 10-mile loop, you come back, you make some adjustments. It's just not the same as a race. You know, a race you have to continue for 300-400 miles at full tilt the whole time. And I think that's why they decided to just put the brakes on, put the shocks on, and let's just go test it right, and that is at a race. So we go into the next race with confidence that, well, it just did the Mint, why wouldn't it do the California 300?
Adrenaline's flowing, you have competition, so you're gonna push it way harder. We're not slowing down to just take the win. We are trying to overall the race with less. And if we can show how our products help us do that, I think we're proving that. We're really maximizing that time in an uncontrolled environment. Like, it's a race, anything can happen.
It's the most demanding motorsport on the planet. I feel like we have the fastest off-road vehicles in the world that can sustain the punishment we put them through. Like, there's nothing that tortures a vehicle more than off-road racing. Keeps you thinking, keeps you exercising and moving forward, innovating, and keeps you busy.
I would say it's an advantage to have that mechanical knowledge. You can communicate with your team. Hey, I'm feeling this, and I give them as much information as I can to help them get to the result that we want to get to. Jason and I, we're on the phone, I would say, every day. Hey, I'm thinking about this, what do you think? He's always hitting me with new ideas and always wanting to improve. Like right after the race, we'll win a race and it's a good job. How was it? How can we make this thing faster? And whoa, Jason, like, let's enjoy the moment for at least 10 minutes. But then as soon as we get back to the camp, we're talking about how can we be even more unstoppable at the Mint coming up. It's cool to see he just wants to win so bad.
I don't look at the success of the race. He's like, cool, we won, that's awesome. But okay, where did we fall short? And that's where my mind goes. And people always look at me like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, well, I mean, this happened, we came short here, and here, we need to improve this, and this. So that's where my mind is always at, is like, I appreciate the success, but it drives me forward more on development and making things better and recognizing where the shortcomings are. You know, then I can talk with my guys down in Oceanside, the engineers, and we can kind of go back and forth and talk about these things and see what makes sense, you know, and get something together and hit the desert again and see if we can make it better.
To lead the race all day and to push all day and have that flawless day, that's like the true testimony of being able to lead the race. Like, people, I think, are kind of shocked that a spec truck is running so far up front. We know what Kyle could do, and to see him consistently beating all the unlimited two-wheel drive trucks all the time, it's really cool to see something we build as a suspension company that's running at the very top level of the sport.
When we take things apart in the truck, you know, the shocks, the brakes, and every piece we have to look at, we look for, you know, any kind of abnormal wear, looking for anything that's a telltale sign of where we can improve a part. And that's why we try to push everything so hard. Is really, winning is one thing, but product development is a whole nother thing. And really why we're doing this is to make better products. And the race environment is the absolute best way to do that.
We got a test because we have King of the Hammers and the Mint 400 next year. So we go to Rage at the River, and they fix the truck. And this is another good test, and there's some really big bumps out there they call the moon bumps. And Tuba sent me some video, and he goes, man, as soon as people take the right side, all cameras on deck because we're getting a crash. And if you look out there, you'll see all the crashes that happen. And he goes, Kyle does not let up. He just goes flying through those bumps, and he goes, I couldn't believe just how smooth the truck was, and you just watch that suspension moving. Something that Jason and Wayne over at Alltech, they could analyze, which is great. Now we're out at the King of the Hammers race, and we're like, okay, this is the first big race of the year that has good competition, a lot of hype around it. And we held it together all day and took the win. We got second overall in the race. Christopher Pulverdi overalled the race, but he's, like I said, in a 1,200 plus horsepower all-wheel drive truck, and we're in a 525 horsepower spec truck. And he beat us by 6 minutes, which is what he did last year. We got third overall last year, but this year we got second overall. So once again, the shocks stayed together all day. The brake calipers worked great all day. The truck ran flawlessly all day. And it's awesome to see that kind of result.
So in 2024, Camburg came and did really well out of the box. Now they've come out and they've already won King of the Hammers. Now they're heading into the Mint, which is arguably the biggest race of the year, and they have a lot of momentum behind them.
It feels great to have won so many events in such a short period of time. With the team especially, there's new people, new program, and it's been really good on the brakes and the shocks especially because you're working with people outside of the off-road space, and they have a very different mindset and looking at things from a different perspective, and it's been a real benefit to us.
Backing up our win from 2024, I think was important because of some of the drama that happened in 2024. We had to come out and show the people at Hammers that 2024 was not a fluke. We're here to play, and this is the team to beat right now.
The Mint 400 is an extremely difficult race. There's big rolling hoops, there's square edge, nasty terrain, and to get a balance in the truck that can handle and maintain that throughout the event is extremely difficult.
We really want to repeat the win of this race. We got to repeat the win of King of the Hammers. The Mint 400 means a lot to us because everyone knows how gnarly that race course is. We really want to get out there and get back-to-back in this truck because now we're even proving, we proved the shocks are race winning, we proved the brake calipers are race winning, but we just want more wins under the belt.
There's such a variety of terrain on the course, and it gets so bad that it really gets you thinking on how you do things in a different perspective. You can't focus on one aspect of terrain. We've made huge progress, and I think we're really going to be a force to contend with at the Mint.
Winning the Mint 400 to us, it's that really rough sprint race. All the top teams are there. We're just putting it on from start to finish. And that to me shows what the trucks and the products are made of. And that means a lot to us because we're trying to build the best products out there that could win these races to then go to the consumer.
I do have the confidence that we're going to have one of the trucks to beat. I think they're going to give me a killer prep. I'm going to have all the right parts. It's going to be perfectly tuned for the Mint. And I think we're going to have a really good race. We know the pace. We know that the track deteriorates. We know how to hit the proving grounds correctly. We know that qualifying is going to have that big ass jump that flat lands down to nothing. We fixed that. So I think we're going into the Mint with a better truck than we did last year. And hopefully we'll just repeat those results.